Alex Sanderson, you can smile, you can look forward to the round of 16, you can look forward to Toulouse.
First win of the year, that, Babes. It was a good one. Like, we seemed to be playing some decent rugby, at home at least. And we get to go to Toulouse, right?
That's the one.
So everything to gain and nothing to lose.
There it is. That's the difference.
Oh.
Just give me an idea. What were you saying to the players? You knew what you had to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes you fall into a trap when you're trying to chase tries. What was the approach?
We made it hard for ourselves, didn't we? Despite the scoreline, like we knew that at half time. And last week, if you watched that game, we were very dominant for 25, 30 minutes and didn't come away with any rewards, which frustrated us, really frustrated us, de-energised us in the game, and probably led to us poor execution further down the line in the game. So it was more of a case of, like, despite what happens today, can we just park the frustration and just get on with that next job, the old next job mentality rhetoric. At half time, we thought that we could make some meters in the wide channels, so we just talked about making sure the backs looked after that ball, the forwards reloaded so we could have some decent shape in attack, and at some point the floodgates will open because of the amount of territory and possession that we had. You can only stem that flow for so long, and it all came to pass really in the second half. I sound like a super coach now.
No, it's good. I mean, but when you talk about that patience, and you look at Tom Roebuck scoring the try just before half-time, he'd been knocking at the door throughout that first half. Eventually gets his try. That's what you're talking about, that patience.
That was the hardest one, wasn't it? The hardest opportunity that we took in that first half was the multi-phase from our own half. But you've really got to be better and sharper, it's particularly against these kind of opposition, in executing, 5-metre mauls, which we've been really good at today. We just weren't quite at the races in that department. It made it hard for ourselves for 50 minutes.
Alex, we talked about the before kick-off about last week in South Africa. You've been disappointed with the final scoreline. You've then got to fly back. How did you prepare this week? Because did you just forget about that game completely and just look at this as a one-off?
No, well, I did that the week.
Because it's hard
before,
to... Because
we had a bad result the week before, and I just thought, we've got 2 days prep here. It's 4 days post the game, so reviews... It's a little bit too far from the game to actually go into detail review. We'll just focus on Stormers. Yeah. And yet, against Gloucester and the Stormers, it was a similar feeling that we were dominant for large parts, and then lightning bolts, you go 95 metres down the other end. So we actually had a full review this week. Right. And we sat down and we looked at the game and how we felt at certain parts of the game, bit of a mental reflection review, and looked at what we could have done better. So we actually were really honest on Tuesday, and a lot of these meetings end up being kind of honesty sessions, which the lads drove. Yeah. Like, what kind of team do you want it to be? Do you rip it up because we've had 2 bad results on the bounce, or do we lean further into our kind of game model and what's working for us, which is our physicality? Our scrum and our maul has been going really well, so lean further into that.
But you must be doing something right. You've got 7 players representing England in the squad, so
Yeah, something. It's just the consistency, Lawrence. And I'm really chuffed for tonight. We're through. We're last 16. Yeah. But
top competition.
We want to take that on the road.
Well, when you had to bring all the guys in on this, we'll start looking at the tries. When you started doing the analysis, at any point did you say to Tom and Ben Curry, we really want you to use your footballing skills just a bit more? We haven't seen enough of that in this game.
The little grubbers through and stuff like that.
That was impressive, wasn't it?
It's got to pay off them at some point, hasn't it?
Are they doing that in training a lot?
Yeah, no. I would have been training.
This is the thing, 3 back rows here, not one of you could have put that grubber kick through, right?
I don't know.
Let's have a look at these.
I think they were having a chat. They were having a chat whilst they're running through him and Rafi, like who's going to score it. And Rafi's like, you score it a little better on the highlight reel.
Well, let's start with that first try in the second half, Ben Curry. And this is the one where you just think, okay, maybe the evening is going to go our way. Tom Roebuck scored just before half-time, and we just discussed the importance of the timing of this try.
Well, we come out, we attacked really hard after the break, didn't we? We went on the offensive. Yeah. It's a beautiful line, that, from Ben. And then to have the vision to do that outside of the right foot. It's certainly not something I can coach. He's going from strength to strength, Ben, isn't he? Like, he's playing really, really good rugby. The best rugby that I've witnessed him play in the 4 years I've been here. And Richard deservedly gets picked for England.
He said he's having fun now. Have you managed to de-stress him a little bit and just say, look, don't take it too seriously. Just go out there and enjoy yourself.
He's playing what he sees, not getting too stressed out by what England are asking of him, and they are, very precise in terms of the metrics and what they're measuring. He's just like, I get that, parking it and just playing what's in front of him, and he's enjoying himself, really enjoying himself.
John, did you sense once that second try went in, the pressure started to lift off Sale, and the players were thinking, do you know we can do this? We only need 2 more tries. The momentum is very much with us.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask Alex as well, because you talk about the different, even just in the opening few minutes of the second half, you could see another level of urgency. I just wonder from like a psychological point of view, at the halftime, is it balancing urgency and desperation, or is it just trying to keep playing what's in front of you? Because you almost saw a completely different side in the second half.
A bit tense, a bit tight.
Go on, sorry.
A bit tense, a bit tight in the first half, snatching at chances.
That was definitely what we've been like last week.
Yeah.
And it did seem to, the shackles came off in the second half. We just spoke about what was going well for us in terms of the space in the wide channels, but then also to up our levels of physicality, because we knew they'd be getting shouted at in their changing rooms, because we kind of dealt to them a bit in the first half, and I was really happy physically how we barred up again in the second. The more, like I say, was effective, but not as effective as it needs to be. In this instance here, we get enough go forward and score on the next phase. You've got to be that clinical, haven't you, against the best teams.
And I think when you play the French sides with one eye on Toulouse, I mean, they're big lads as well. So up front, you're always going to be coming up against this type of team, and you just got to be incredibly physical.
We've got a pack that can compete in Europe.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's for certain. Physically with the races, and then with Toulouse, it's about speed of ball, isn't it? Now, how quick they're able to keep the ball and keep it live. If we're able to take that away from them, drag them into a bit of more of a gritty, gain line orientated game, then maybe.
You could see that frustration there. We were chatting about it in comms, just that the collision dominance from the ruck, 3-4 players out, they couldn't get any joy out of you today.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what Byron's been doing really well. Byron, don't you?
Byron,
He's a great lad. And he's really got them intent up in terms of between the 15s, we're looking super dominant, and I think we've got the best stats in Europe for collision dominance. Doesn't help you on transition though, no. You know that, Andy, quick phase transition where the likes of Toulouse, Stormers last week, where they're wickedly sharp, we've got to get better in that area.
How do you deal now then with, a good performance in the end and a good victory? You're going to Toulouse in the knockouts, but how do you deal with the highs and the lows of a really good performance one week and then away from home, it's been poor at times? How do you get a Sale performance at your home stadium?
Jim Allender once told me an expression like, win or lose, we'll drink some booze.
I like
and if we draw, we'll drink some more. So generally speaking, I'll just have a, you're never as good as you think you are. You're never as bad as you think you are. Just try and take that in consideration every time you win and you lose. Keep it measured in terms of reviewing, always. All those cliches run true.
You lose 7 players now.
Well, seeing we're in danger of turning this place into an off licence, let's raise a glass to the bonus point try.
Yeah,
all
right,
Flaherty.
okay.
This is the one that will put a smile on your face. This is the one that raised the roof, because at this point, the game is won, and you're in the round of 16. How did this feel?
The old man's still got some poke in him, hasn't he? We said that. He said, I'm not that old, Al, but no, he looked really sharp today. Of course you can tackle the 9 now if the ball's out. There you go, he's gone for it, and he's got a really high knee lift, hasn't he? Really good stride.
That's because he knew the camera was on him.
No, I love a try that comes in the back of defensive pressure. They're the ones that really count, I feel anyway, because that's like a massive momentum swing. We felt them last week as well.
Yeah.
We were 5 minutes from the line, you end up under your own sticks 95 metres of the way, and then they've got to build themselves back up. So, it was a sweet one. It's a sweet one to seal the deal and to take us through.
On that, was there any point when you saw Baptiste Saran get hit on the head that you were worried that the try was going to be cancelled out, because he gets whacked a little bit and then drops the ball? And
I didn't see that, no.
Oh, well played.
I didn't look back. I don't look back at those replays. It never happened.
Unless it's against you. Right?
A word on Tom Roebuck. We're seeing the evolution of Tom Roebuck becoming increasingly effective for Sale, now recognised in England selection. Gets your first try, gets your last try. What's so special about this man? What's changed? What have you seen him develop?
Well, if you take this performance compared to when he played against Northampton, which was pre the autumn internationals, this is a different level, and I think that one, it might have been, his performance might have been shaded by the selection going in from that Northampton game, because you've always got next week in mind. You've got a foot in the international camp, not this week. He was just totally on it, aerially, making breaks down that right-hand side. On another day, he's putting that offload in, and Rafi's scoring probably as well. there's every part of his game that seems on form at the moment. Defensively, he's making good reads as well. You know, and I think Faye Wabasso's still injured in with his shoulder. So
there's a winger spot open because Slightholme's injured as well at the minute. So
he's doing it week in, week out, babes. That's the main thing. Like, his consistency performance is second to none, and that's why he's always one of the first on the team sheet when we're selecting.
Great stuff. Well, look, funnily enough, I get the feeling you're thinking about having a drink in your hand. Thanks so much for your time. Many congratulations. We're probably going to talk about you now. We don't want to embarrass you, so we'll take that off and we'll let you go.
Congrats.
Many congratulations. Well done.